Hello, and welcome to another beautiful Saturday morning, which is actually quite cloudy out, but for a ginger, that is a perfect day. Hi, how's everyone been? It has been some time, has it not? I believe it's been quite a few weeks since I have streamed, and I'm actually really excited to get back to it. I'm back. I don't have everything I want, set, of course, but you know what? That was a small excuse that I'm now just going, nah, gotta get over it. Gotta get past it. Gotta go. Gotta get it out to the people. And that's what I'm here for. So, today, Saturday morning WebToonz, welcome. I'm gonna be doing some animation work. I'm just finishing some setup, like, some shout outs here and there. And I definitely have so much more that it just dawned on me, is like there's a whole nother half of stuff I want to set up for the stream. Since I've joined with Crimson Coalition, the CEC, and so there's a decent amount going on. So I'm just putting some shout outs there. Do. So by all means, let's get in, have a little cozy time. Hopefully y'all are enjoying some coffee or tea or whatever beverage of your choice. Enjoy some of the music by Teknoaxe. So again, I've been working on an animation piece, and it's a pretty big one. Even though it might only be, what is it? How did I time it out? I think it's, was it 2 to 3 seconds worth? About 2.9 seconds from beginning to end. So it's really well, no, wait, is that right? Or is it 20? Or is it like 15 seconds? Mark transition. I'll have to go over that again. It's more like 10 seconds. But it's a transition from one piece of live action to another piece of live action. But yes, we're getting there. Why not? Good morning. See, I'm wearing something heavy because it's what is it? It's kind of cold out. I mean, it's how it gets when it gets really cloudy and you don't see the sun, which I'm used to. So again, hopefully you're all having a wonderful, lovely morning. I enjoyed a lovely breakfast. It was great. Egg and potato is the classic of my family, so strongly recommend, because you just need potato, an egg, and butter or canola oil or something to crisp up, potatoes with. I'm trying to focus on, I guess, more than I should. So let's just get this out. Do, do, do. Oh, you know what? You know what? I don't even know if I do have the link. This is the problem with having a terrible memory. It's like, I thought I did. And then you sit here and it's like, I really don't remember now. How does one remember? Many, 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 many notes. That's how you work it. There it is. So I do have it in the link. That's perfect. That's what I wanted. Gosh, I still have so many things to do for. I'm really, really bad. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So I'm still slow on this. But we'll get there. So like I was mentioning, I'm gonna be working on some animation work. That's a transition piece from one real life set of footage to another. So it's and I keep going back for that. I was like, is it 10 seconds or is it 3 seconds? All I've done is done an animatic of it right now. So that's really like the basis of just getting, this is how I want the whole transition to work. So, and that's what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to be going into it further, and hopefully I'll get some tweening started and start fleshing out the actual timing of it fully, because I do need to remember how long. And why, you know what? That's right. I wrote in a document. See, I just need a sticky note somewhere that says, just look at your document folder. You'll find it, because I have to write down everything. Otherwise, I'll forget. I'm horrible, and I can't remember. I suffer from CRS. If you don't know what that is, then you can always look up the acronym, because it's family friendly, so I won't even say the C word, which is not even that bad of a word, but I'm not going to say it. I mean, my mom used to say it to me all the time when I was a kid, but I guess that's why I use that word often. Fun little tidbit about me. My first word was damn. And yes, my mother taught me it. Alright, now I need to find where I put the document. My goodness. I know I left it on the screen here. That's not the one. There we go. That's the one I want. This should have what I'm looking for. There, tweet that out. I just happen to actually have a recording of what I was doing, which I will show you here in a few moments. I did have a rough start because it decided that no, I'm not gonna let you sign in to Facebook in through Streamlabs. So it just decided okay. And then it ended up being just a weird experience because it just kept asking the same questions wait, but I'm signed in now, aren't I? That's eventually when I just hit the play button. I go, we'll see what happens. As a matter of fact, maybe I should go see if it is even up on Facebook, because I bet you it could be. Yeah, it says it's up on Facebook. Of course it is. We're good. We're live. Yay! Yeah, it does say. Throw that away. All right, now time to put down the phone and pick up the lovely coffee. Yes, I clean this mug. Well, occasionally clean this mug before I put coffee into it. I mean, if you get several cups in a day, you don't have to clean in between every single one, right? Just a quick rinse, maybe. All right. Now I'm going to turn down the music and 3-second animation. So it's a 3-second solid animation sequence with about a 1 to 2 second transition from fade in and fade out from the real life to everything. So that does mean that I do have a decent amount of time. 3 seconds filled in. And I'm thinking for this one, because they're hand-drawn pictures, it'd be great for 15 frames per second. And that's typically used in your claymation kind of so this case, a Wallace and Gromit kind of feel. It'll have that like staggered feel because what we really want in animation is as close as we can to get to 29.97 frames per second, which is used so it's not 30 frames so it doesn't fatigue the eye. But in other animations, usually 24 frames, especially if it's hand-drawn. You definitely want to use the minimum amount of frames as possible to generate the same feel, the same movement. But well, depending on what you're aiming for. Like me, I'm trying to go for that claymation feel because all of these frames are going to be hand drawn. So if I have 3 seconds, I have about 45 images I have to draw, and then I have about a second or two that I have to draw additionally as the fadeaway. So that is still solid 45 frames. With an additional 15 frames on top of that. So I have about 60 frames for just this small transition. So, given that, maybe I should bring it on up. Now down below, I actually did finally link the Discord, which I am now realizing I am not logged into. Or I am, but I'm not. I am going to go into there. I'm going to jump down below. And there we go. If you have the opportunity, please, by all means, join in. We can talk, we can play, we can discuss. If you want to listen to me more in real time as well, you can jump into the Discord. I still have yet to have it properly assign people their role when they join in. So I will have to fiddle with that. But that is a whole bunch of things because beyond that, I'm working on website, working on portfolio work, working on animations, working on illustrations. That was probably the main reason why I was like, I need to take a seat back and take a moment from streaming for a while just to reorganize how things are working. And I honestly, I really do miss doing this. I love sharing what I'm working on, and I like going into great detail for everyone. So I hope that, by me overanalyzing my own work, being overly critical, and talking my thoughts out aloud will help you. It will help you have some of that mentality, some of that feeling, and know that we're our own worst critics at times, but still, we can learn quite a bit. Hey, and yes, it looks like Pokemon community game is up and going, which I think is a great thing. I enjoy, doing it during a lot of friends' streams, so that's why I brought it upon into my stream. So if you have the opportunity, please go ahead and play. As a matter of fact, even join the Discord because you can, not my Discord, but the actual Pokemon community game Discord. You can go into their, the daily text chat and just put in !poke daily and get some nice little gear for your linked up account through Discord and your Twitch. Pretty sure you have to link it through Discord. So like I said, I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit. Actually, I can just do it right here. Do. Oh, yeah. How about we, there. See, well, it's working, but it's not. There we go. Now we have studio mode. Because usually when I push these buttons, I don't have it go immediately. So this is a bit of footage that I found. What is it? A person on Craigslist was asking for help for stuff. This is technically me not doing it for that, but I found their video and I go, ooh, I'll take a portion of this and I'll make a transition piece and add in a bit of my own animation. So yes, this is somebody else's footage, but I'm using it to do a transition. So I will play that real quick. So, and this is the planned out effect, and it's a Doppler effect. Is the best way to describe it, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be using this hand swipe is to reveal the landscape and then pull back out to where then it's back to live. So over the course of, because I have the intro and outro, because I have 3 images that I shot, that I just snapshotted, and 3 other images, but I have 3 seconds that I have to fill in with the 45 frames. So this is where I get the timing and the movement, which is going to be pretty steady, but it's going to be, as the Doppler effect goes, it goes it has this effect on you. So, and again, it's the same thing when it's considered with audio. You have this whole, what is it? An object that's far away that suddenly gets closer to the microphone, then gets, moves away from it. That's a Doppler effect. This is the same thing. This is just the animation version of it. Is that you see the hand and the hand comes swiping by to help with that transition. So we're going from a character on a piece of paper to bringing it to life, to transition to enlarge, do a turn, and then this is where we're taking the hand and we're going to use it to swipe across. And as you can see, everything beyond where this hand is now revealing the landscape. That's going to be this hand drawn. And this is going to be very rough drawn because it's not going to be too much cleaned up from what I have right now. So that's also a reason why I was like, I'm very good about these frames. I will definitely go through and clean them up more, because one aspect I do want to make sure that feels very real is when these frames, the rocks over here, as they transition. See, I need to fix this particular one because we snap from this moment to this moment, so there's a bit more I need to add there. And then we go into this where it's just kind of pulling away and getting to our last moment where it's their center. It's the camera footage was centered on them. So again, we're working this whole transition. Now I get to sit down and I get to work on the timing. And that's where I'm at currently. And we're gonna, frame rate is going to be set to 15 because we're gonna do that claymation feel to it. So I can start working out the timing by readjusting. Now I do have 3 seconds, so every 15 frames is 1 second according to my animation. So this mark is 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And I said that I probably have about 1 second's worth of fade in, a ratio of which, from footage to fading into the transition. So if I give that, see, I'm gonna have to respace this just for my own purposes. And then from that. So if you're not familiar, I'm actually using the program Krita, and this is their animation tools. It's freeware, so I definitely recommend it to give it a shot. It's built off Python, so you can find many things to help, like plugins, or even developing your own, because Python is not too difficult if you're more apt to work on some programming. You could definitely make quite a few friends with programming on these things with plugins. Now, in order to actually take out the animation, that I will let you know, there is a plugin you have to download for it to actually know how to render the animation sequences you have to either a MOV file or to even to a GIF. So if you're in the development of GIFs, this could be a great way to just take some of your hand drawings or take some images and put it together, and make your own little animation timing, and then output as a GIF for sharing. So keep that in mind. There's always some tool that you can use for these things, and this is definitely one I recommend for everyone. So we're gonna do this. Yes, I'm purposely keeping my blank frame because I want it to cut off. So we're gonna keep that going to that. All right, so we have quite a few. I'm hoping it's gonna let me move. Sometimes this does not work how I think it should. Yeah. I don't need... There. Yeah, because I just want it to be blank, but I want it to be blank on 45. And I want you to be... Actually, no. 50. No, these are the frames that go past that set. So we got full animation that should be roughly about 60 frames. This one is going to be the last frame. This one is going to be 55 frame. This is something I could have probably done before, but best laid plans. No, you jump to the... So again, I'm readjusting for timing right now. Remove that blank frame. Alright, so this one now becomes that. So, and then I still need to adjust everything down. So we'll just adjust everything for every 5. See where we are. So the best thing to do again is what I've done here with an animatic, is to start figuring out your timing. How do I move from one moment to the next? So boom, there we go. So we do that, and I see 60 frames full. That's the full transition time. It should have 60 frames total that I'm working with. And given that, so it moves relatively the same as what I had before, because I had it set to 5 frames, and I said, I'm just gonna do 5 frames and boom, 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 5 frames a second. So as you can feel, it actually goes by pretty quickly. The 3 seconds of which I'm working in. Is that right? Roughly. I think I've extended a bit. It can't hurt to make a few extra frames, and even if I just dilate it downward to make it a little bit faster, it should still work out very well. So we're still good. Because a few extra frames will just help make it a little bit smoother. Oh, always save. All right, so with what I have here, I definitely feel like there's a little bit more transition I have to make between 40 and 50. Because the current 45 frame is a bit more disjointed or jaunting to jump to that. And I do have to work on a bit of the art style, because we're taking from this artist's, since the documentary is about this particular gentleman who was once in prison and found art to inspire himself, and did some traveling, soul searching. This is just getting from the documentary's video that they had on just the trailer of it. So I thought it would be great to take a moment and match somebody else's art style and use it for the transition. So that's one aspect I do need to play around with. But there is some aspect that I have to bring to it myself in my own art style because, well, I have to fill in the gaps somehow. And the best way you can do is insert your own knowledge of what you do or what you know. And so that's why some of this, like, I'd even say is too much as when this hand is definitely more my art style than I would say is theirs, but that's also because if I look at the hands are cut off in this. So I have to interpret something for this. So that's why we put in our own information. And as you see, I make it darker, and then we start pulling away from the actual image to develop. Now this, I feel like the hand needs to be a bit bigger than the arm. I mean, the same effect goes here. So beyond, this is also where I didn't start drawing, like right here to the left. So as the hand comes around, it's going to go from open palm to flipping up to being the wipe. Because you can see where the thumb to the pinky are is purposely off the frames and like everything beyond it. So as the hand comes around, like this will start here and then start wiping across to then reveal our beachscape. And this is what I'm trying to portray, is that from one moment to the next, we're using animation to have a animated transition for this character. For this moment in their life, they're going from here I am on a piece of paper to, you know, with my arms wide open, to going to this moment where I'm standing on the beach in the ocean air and my arms are wide open. So it's like it's taking what they envisioned on paper and putting it to real life. That's what this whole point of what I'm trying to portray in this transition is, that this moment of they're visualizing what they want, what they feel, to actually then making it real. So I thought it, like when I was watching their little trailer, I saw this moment and I go, that would be perfect for a small animation. So I felt inspired by seeing it to say, like, you know, I'm gonna add this in. I'm gonna do this. And just for my own sake, to be a bit more practice, a bit more work. So it's so that way you understand, like there's the feeling. What I'm trying to go from one moment to the next is that's how I see this animation working. It's a transition of visualizing to being its next moment, to actually its culmination. So I'm using animation as a tool. In this case, as a metaphor for, you know, imagine what you want and then make it happen. Again, animation is a great tool for these things. And for 3 seconds, I feel it has a lot to say for just 3 seconds. And there's also a lot of work in 3 seconds. So how fast I want to move this is actually more... Gonna be, why am I, I'm on the locked layer, that's why it's not letting me. What this really is that it's gonna be an effect like this, and at this peak is where the hand wipe. So when we reach here, that's kind of the peak, because that's the peak of how fast everything feels like it's moving. Because this hand swipe is probably going to only be a few frames. Heck, it could be this frame into this frame immediately with how fast everything's going. So this is why it's like, this is like, what is it? On paper. So we're starting off on paper and then we end with at beach. So this is the speed of which I want the frames to work, but this is still over 3 seconds. So we're going to ease our way out of this moment, with it being a little bit slower, taking a little bit more time. So there's going to be more frames used in this moment transition into then the hand coming through and then swiping, and probably like within, I want to say really within 5 frames. Maybe even faster than that. It could be like 2-3 frames. So this is a big, this is a big part of the timing, is I need to figure out where do I need to draw the frames so I'm not overdrawing for what I'm trying to do. And as well as try to get the moment to feel just right. I have to say, like, when you're doing it as hand-drawn, it is definitely a little bit more challenging, which is part of the reason why I did this, is to give myself more of that challenge, to really, really work it out. Whereas if you have a puppet that you're working with, in this case, in many cases, you can go, I don't like that. Let's tweak this and like shrink and just drag. If I'm drawing them each frame, I need to plan out where am I putting putting more drawings to thus extend the time, the movement from this moment to this into the next. So understanding certain effects like this Doppler effect, whereas for the hand is really far away, and therefore things that are further away look like they're moving slower, and then as objects get closer to the camera, they move faster because there's less distance between this moment and this moment, because we're talking about the amount of distance that hand is moving is a huge deal. Whereas for the moment from here to here, where that hand literally just moved like what could have been just like a couple inches. And then even for this, it's moving just a couple inches, but it's the effect of where the camera is. If the camera's closer to that object that's moving a small increment, it's going to move faster because the camera itself, what is it? It's like looking at a cone. If you have if you're at the cone's, neck and you're the closest object there, an object moving, how about this? I know the visual. I know the visual. Because it's this cone effect. I know what I'm trying to say. I just need to say it. Here, I'm gonna make some space. Oh yes, my little reminder is on my screen. I shouldn't have it there. So then we're just gonna turn that off. So the bigger point is this. Say our camera is right here. Boom, camera. Now that has a viewing. It's just this. So the big thing is we're going to have 2 objects. We have object here and an object here. This object moves to this direction, and this moves this direction. The biggest thing is how much time does it have actually to be in front of the frame, in front of the camera. They're moving the same speed. The same speed. So they're already at a constant. There's no acceleration. They're moving at a constant speed. These are same speed, but the amount of time they have in front of the camera is dictated by the viewing angle of the camera itself. The closer the object is, the less time this object will be in front of the screen. But they both will be effectively moving the same. So as this ball is here, say like this is a green ball, a red ball, and this is a red ball. The green ball will suddenly be here, and then as this enters, you have a position where this and this are about the same. Which then you'd see, kind of like, see this small object, or this larger object as it's entering. And it's because you have that effect of how the camera angle is looking at things. And that's This is effectively how the Doppler effect works. I'll just move faster the closer they are to the item that's capturing the moment. It's because it's just how things seem to be visually when we look at them. Yet these two objects move the exact same speed. There's no difference in acceleration. They are moving at a constant. It's all about light physics, right? Visual bending of light and how we see it depends on how it's being captured. I mean, the same thing happens like when somebody comes to slap you. You have a few moments where you see the hand coming, and then just suddenly it's in your face. Before you know it. But yeah, this is effectively what I'm describing. This is the overall effect of what I'm trying to get with the hand. So the hand is starting off from like here, and then does an arc to where its final position is. Literally, it arcs. Because the center of my object is here, and we are moving the camera around them. Has this gotten a little too much yet? But these are the effects of what you look for in animation. In this case, this is what I'm trying to portray. So this again also shows the same arc that I'm talking about right here. I'm easing out of this into the hand wipe and then back out as it rushes back down towards being further away and at the beach. So I will have like three frames here, whereas for here to here might be 20. Here would be 20. Then here to here would be another 10. Did I actually plan that out pretty good? What is that? 30, 60, 60, 63. It's a bit more frames than what I've allotted myself, but it's not a bad deal to have a few extra frames where I can just yank out a few. I go, I want to move a little bit faster, don't need you. So if I pre-plan and make this my model, I'd be pretty good with a... That's not what I meant. That one. I'd be pretty good with a... Oh, I drew it on that layer, didn't I? I did. Alright. Turn it off. Lock it. Oh, helps select the right layer. So again, for my own reference. And this is just a rough estimate that I'm going with currently. Now, actually, I almost want to say I should move that differently. Yeah, that's right. No. See, now that's on a different layer. I want to say, because I kind of here and here, this should be 10, then 20. There we go. Now I properly wrote it out how it should be. So 20, 10, 3, 10, 20 is how I should ease in and out for my framing. And right now that's 60 frames, so I will have an extra 15 frames inside the 45 that I'm working with, which will give me some tweaking space. I can adjust it. So this to me is a very strong plan, especially for a previs. I've gotten my previs of this animatic. I know what moments I'm going to hit with every single one, and really between here and here is gonna be 3 frames. The hand's gonna start completely off the screen, and then when it gets all the way to the next side, where we're gonna see the hand probably like 1, 2, and then gone, and it's gonna be on to the next. I'm probably gonna have only 2 solid frames where, like this and this, where that's where the hand goes. It's like you're gonna see this, and it's just gonna move. It's just gonna be revealed very quickly. The beach landscape, which I'm gonna keep all hand drawn. So yes, I'm gonna hand draw every single moment where every little shift is gonna have me redraw it again. That was the structure of the art style I said that this would be. That's why I try to keep it very minimal amount of frames because I know it's going to be a lot of work. And a really good animator could probably crank out like a good couple seconds worth of animation. I'm gonna try to do that, you know, myself, but I don't hold any hope of getting this all done while I'm talking, especially because I'm gonna talk about it more, analyze it, overthink it, and then tweak it and tweak it, tweak it. So, as they've always said, the first draft is always crud. So, let's go ahead and just jump into some of this. I know where I want some of these frames. I know, like I said, I already pre-planned how many frames I'm going to generate in each moment. So it's onto the paper. I'm gonna have 20 frames of it really kind of pulling up and away, to where then it goes into 10 frames where it's gonna move a little bit faster and suddenly hand wipe, and then we're gonna go easy, 10 frames, boom, 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 and then 20 frames to kind of slow out as we pull away to get that Doppler effect of the animation. So now that I've talked my own way into all this. Oh, looks like Adrian wants to go outside. So this is the onioning, so you can see from one moment to the next. Oh, that's right. Turn it back on. So yes, I left this one blank to where this is where the drawing is. The green is what the next frame is moving toward, because I'm trying to pull the character out and away to the middle and then slightly off center. So we're off center. So now we get to the effect where, because the dark ink is what that moment is. To then being this. I don't like this angle of which I drew this character, but again, it's storyboarding. It's not the final. I definitely need to rework its major frame so it looks exactly how I want it visually. So when I'm recreating it, I'm pretty much drawing the same thing, just slightly varied from where it was. And like I said, there is quite a bit of adjustments. So this wants to be, I practically want these two to be incredibly close. And I said about 3 frames transition, so we go from one boom to there. Now I did develop this for more 60 frames, so maybe I should enlarge my space. Because yeah, I want from 15 to 15 frames. Actually, from the 10 frame to 55 to be my 10. So we're gonna shift this outward because for 10 plus 60, and then we're at 70 already. And we'll just make these adjustments. And again, I will end up readjusting this later on, but for now, this is, I'm going to work with 60 frames and then chop off some of the frames I don't need. And again, I'm overdeveloping a little bit just for the fact that it'll give me a little bit of play space, because like, that moves a little too fast. Let's keep these frames in, or I might need to draw a few extra just to smooth it out. So these keyframes are major moments being shifted. So then from the 10 to 70, it's 30. So this is all happening right around there. There's technically where that transition is for timing. And we got roughly about 10 frames. And then this is from here to here, we got about 15 frames. Or 20 frames with two visual transitions occurring. It's fairly similar where it's like I'm looking at 40. What about there? That's about 9. This is about halfway through the 50 to 70. Is that right? Do I have the same amount of space I'm working on either side? Really? Yeah, because it's 9 frames in. Not quite. I think I gave more. I think I need to give myself another 10. Right? Yeah, I think I do. It can't hurt. I'm just trying to space it out so I can go in and start making the blank frames and then drawing in parts. That feels like I just enlarged that way too much, though. There we go. This should work. Now again, the transition in and out I'm using is about 10 frames, so it's a part of a second because the intro and outro is roughly a second itself combined. So it's 10 and 10, so I should have enough leeway to work out the extra. Again, that's part of another position where I might go, I need to enlarge that section. It needs to be more. Actually, again, I just feel like it is 70. I did my right calculation and I doubted it. It just didn't look right. Not until I started fooling around with everything else. So this is roughly more the timing of how it should feel. Right? This is actually because again, these frames are a lot closer because they're going to happen from one to the moment and then enlarge. So this even gets shifted a few frames over to be the peak between these two moments. So you can see this is actually more of like that diagram that I drew. This right here, this is closer to that, to how this whole thing is going to work. So again, a little bit slower, and then boom, quickly as the hand wipe comes across. And I could be wrong, because when I finish this and I go, I really don't like the speed of this. There's something I should tweak. Maybe I add more frames to the center of it instead of having only 3. But this gives me a good foothold of what I'm aiming for, what I'm planning out. Because in the end, this is... what is this? This is a diagram of time. Speed of motion, or in this case, the speed of which an event is occurring. But either way, it's how fast something's moving across everything. Sorry. Given this, I have a good foothold, a good starting place to start getting in some more frames, get more smoother transition, and so just kind of like I feel like this is also even how I write sometimes, is like outline and then bullet points, and then take those bullet points down to further to where I'm starting to write sentences, to then it's where it's full paragraphs, to where then it's a full full chapter, and then boom, it ends up being fleshing it out. So just breaking it down from these are the points I want to hit, this is kind of the timing I want to do it with, and then getting in the dialogue, getting in the other information to then flesh it out to its full. Alright, so I guess this is just time to start drawing. So we're going to go to halfway marks on a lot of these and create blank frames. So then with the onion, you can see where I am to where I want to be in that brief moment. And that's also another aspect, is some of these I do need to make sure Because like this is a pretty big, pretty fast movement where the hand is still going to be technically off screen to where it's getting to that transition. And this is part of a lot of what I have to get is this whole rotation around a character. So I'm creating from a two-dimensional design, 3D. I'm giving it more depth as we turn around and get across, go across it. And I'm trying to keep the same style of which this artist had created into that transition. But again, we're getting closer, so I get some extra detail in certain parts where I have to put in and insert what I can. And this is where an art director would come in. Is like, I draw a few things like, I don't like how the shapes of these are. They kind of lose, and they would help you get focused, because then you go, okay, I need to redraw this, clean up this portion here, and they'll give you that direction. Because you always got somebody that's key on the style. Ah, the glare from the screen. Sorry, my face is so close to the mic now. Then, okay, good, I'm at 10 point. So we want a halfway mark between these two. So my best bet is to just draw what I think and do it a little bit faster in my mind, because the more I sit here and start thinking too much on it, the less I'm gonna get in there that I want. So then we got this muscle. This one's gonna fall over more. We do need to move it upward. Now I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some of this wrong, but when I see it in motion, I'll go, this is where I want to clean up. This is what I need to change. So then, I feel like I made that a little too close. At the same time, my major frames feel kind of like they're off a bit, because I'm not confidently moving into this, like, maybe that isn't visually where it is, but that's part of what I'm doing, is to get in more of an idea. Now this is my workflow. Doesn't mean it's perfect. And I definitely need to take a strong look at how I do things, especially compared to industry standards. So I'm in no way perfect about my own creation. This is just how I've developed. bit. Is that about what I want? Maybe. Tune in next week. Nope. Outside of the character, that's not how this design works. Get a nice little floop. We get that floopy nooper. Sorry, talking like Rick and Morty now. There. Maybe this ear is a little bit. Well, this is definitely. So again, green is where I'm transitioning to and moving. There's two different actions here. Not only am I turning it, but it's also shifting the character off center a bit. That might be something I need to change. I'll realign these so they're all straight on with, here's its pivot point. This is like straight down, boom, this line right here. Everything should pivot around this point. Instead of trying to be a little bit over dynamic with its movement by also then saying, well, not only is it this, but from watching the footage is all done by hand. So trying to get that jittery movement where it's not perfect every moment. They don't have a gimbal to help keep the solid movement of the camera. That is a big factor. Matter of fact, I'm even seeing why this looked off in the first place is because I need to raise it up. Take it a little bit higher. There, because it has to be a little bit higher than the other shoulder. So our movement, it works. Then we're going into... Again, just trying to keep their style, but we know that this... Green is where I'm going, so I need to be lower than the purple. What am I doing? Now there's going to be more frames inside this because we're trying to make a smoother movement. In this case, we're elongating the amount of time this movement is compared to the hand coming across the front of our screen. So this will have many frames. Should be a total of 20. I get to draw out every subtle movement between them. So green is where I'm heading. If that's the case, then I definitely have. Because I'm also, it's taking a shift of the arm and saying, okay, it's now there. The palms are going from up to this to being outwards. So the shift of that elbow. Actually, if I was to even critique their original artwork, it does not show that the arms are. I don't know. I mean, it's not a very big movement on where the arm's muscle is, Because when you have it up like that, yeah, you have the, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here doubting, like, wait a second, where does that muscle sit? Where do these muscles sit? In that arm. And when your palms are up, they're more, they're pushed out more, yeah. My gosh. Started to confuse myself. So if anything, when the palms are going down, this becomes less defined, this portion of the muscle, because it gets shifted downward a bit more. So that's a pretty big transition, which then visually, you know, I'm realizing that the reason why I was thinking that is because the original drawing doesn't have the elbow very much. It doesn't have a prominent shape there for the elbow when the palm is up, because your elbow is actually pointing downward, and then when you have your hand out this, it's hidden. So that's the visual. That's what's messing me with this arm, is that the elbow should be down. I shouldn't draw in the elbow. I should actually have it disappear. So that's where I was like, wait, there's an elbow, doesn't it come in? It's like, no, it doesn't. So that already tells me that the green frame, the frame I'm drawing to, is wrong. This doesn't exist. This doesn't appear. Anatomy. So if this be the case, very little shown. Yep, male pec. Green is where I'm going. It seems kind of... No. Again, because that portion is getting further away while the... Okay, yeah. Left side of the body's getting further away. The right is coming closer. I'm sitting here thinking, like, wait. I'm confusing myself with my own animation. This is why it'll be a bit of a slow process, because I'm still building the motion that's occurring. So yes, this pec. Is like that in here. Feels a bit off. Probably because this is supposed to be on the inside a bit more. And we can have... Because it shouldn't move too far from where it is. And this is going to be a little bit closer than the original. So a lot of these frames are going to be drawn more quickly when there's a little bit less detail. So then we have this shifting upward. So then this is... Oops. I'm trying... So much glare from that particular light, I can't even see this little bar that I'm trying to move. I'll have to reposition where that light goes. There we are. where I'm going. Purple is where I was. And you know, this is again good visual exercise because, like, obviously I don't draw too many rotations around an object. So part of my challenge is to get out of that comfort zone. That's where you find the most innovation and change for yourself, is when you stop drawing in the comfort zone of what you once were to push yourself to another stage. This needs to be there. So I'm trying to, again, I'm using the onioning to tell me where I was to where I'm aiming for, and I'm drawing a picture in between them. That's currently the position I'm doing. Now I have a rotation occurring, so part of one half of the body is actually moving away from the camera while another portion is moving toward. So this is essentially a big all. That portion of the body is moving away there, whereas for this portion of the body is coming at us live here. So again, that's the rotation that I'm generating right now with this moment. The body is twisting, but it's actually not the body twisting. If you think about it, I have the body stationary in the world, and I'm moving the camera around it. But visually, like as I'm drawing it, I'm moving the body. It just depends on how you want to think about it. Flip that back and forth in your mind for a moment. see which way fits best for how you think. So there's even like a visual like pivot point that I have to think inside the body. I'm going from here to here. I really do need to make that a wheel. Again, this pack is getting bigger. So it's really, when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at three images and I'm looking for the image that's in between them as I do this. go. Again, there'll be some cleanup, definitely, as this gets going further and further. So I need... What's this? The arm needs to be extended a bit further because this arm they did make relatively longer. So I do have part of that as transition is morphing from the drawing to the live action version of this character. Huh, actually. I realize now that I didn't draw this into the previous frame. Let's get that in there then. So I got a lot of information I'm being shown on this screen at one time. If you're ever curious, I have this onion tool really open to the side. So if I really go, I don't need to see the previous. I want to see the previous frame. It's going to turn off the +1. Because but I need to know where I'm going. So you can turn them on and off. Heck, I can even go further. You can see the next frames after those. I really, really want to do that. But I just have the first and the 2 frames between it. Or I'm making the tween between these 2 frames. Which as I add more frames, it's going to smooth it out. And these are all hand drawn. I might get to a point where I go, actually, I think I have enough for that transition. Might not draw anymore. But again, I have an idea of what my timing is, what I'm trying to aim for. So that is again where I'm going with this. That's what I'm gearing everything toward becoming. I'm just gonna do that. And create that little muscle there. There we go. Now these are between going the other direction. Do I have 2 more pieces in those ribs section? Must do. Must be. Turn off the onion. Back up just a little bit because I know I need to go to do a little bit more, but take a quick look of boom, boom, boom. Almost feels like the art style slightly even changes from what I'm doing to what it is. Yeah, this definitely needs a little bit more. And that's part of what I was doing when I was pre-drawing now, to kind of get that more hand drawn feel instead of the and yeah, I'm really just overdrawing. So I want it to feel scratchy, like as if we're sketching. So trying to make clean lines or of anything, really. And of course, get in shadow. I always wanted to feel like it's a sketch of the throughout. Like I'm doing this, I'm drawing quickly, which is another aspect of like I'm trying to draw this quickly. I'm not trying to spend a lot of time overthinking or overdoing parts of this. I want to get my visual in. And even so, it looks like, again, it's from one to the next. There. This is looking good. Definitely need to rough up the beard. So again, now I don't have the onion on. I'm actually jumping back and forth between frames, going like, this is more of what I want. See if this is more in tune with definitely trying to get more sharp edges, it feels. Actually, I might even want to rework this beard anyways to be more. This side of the chin should be a little bit further downward. As it comes wrapping around. Pull that portion in. Anything across the forehead? Well, we got a little bit. Trying to make sure I go like, this is where I want to be, so we're gonna do this. So yes, I might have made one line, but I'm trying to make it more lines, so it looks like, because sketching a lot of times has always had that feeling like I'm exploring, I'm trying to find the shape that I really want. So is there where we are? This is where we're going. And that's where we want to be. Mm-hmm. 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 I feel like the arm, like the bicep compared to the forearm, so it's a bit off. Like I want the forearm to be a little bit bigger. I think I might need to do that because now that I'm seeing some of this, it's like, yeah, this needs to be given a bit more attention. Again, like I said, all this is going to be hand drawn, so even my major frames, which are kind of crude, I'm thinking I might keep, or I might redraw once I get the other parts of the visuals in there, and then just start cleaning up a lot of them. So it just depends. So essentially this is what I'm doing. Just make it a little bit, just a tad bit bigger. Cold coffee. Oh. Hey, you know what? I feel pretty good, and especially with going over and assessing everything, that took about 40 minutes. I'm doing all right. That's not what I want to see. No. Do 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 do. Okay. So feels pretty strong. Oh, back to my brush tool. That's why. The only problem I feel with this desk is the fact that it's so easily shaken as I'm doing this. There. All right, so we are going to take these out. I just put those in there just to kind of give you guys an idea of the shift of which I'm trying to do. All right, so if we go from here, not a big, but again, it's enough. In fact, I need to finish the hand. The hand is facing upward. Get a thumb in there, maybe. Just something. So we know, yes, I got a hand in there. It's part of our transition. So back to the onion. Down. So we get a little bit more detail. Otherwise, we keep it pretty good. Keep it. So again, I'm looking for a mark that's between here and here for that. So I'd want to probably be right about there, because I'm trying to cut it in half and make another frame and get some more of the transition. So visually. And a lot of this is matching the other artists' style, because they are the originators that inspired this, so... Just gonna turn it for my own sake. I could just copy frames and do this. In many ways, that would be easiest. Because again, I'm almost like recreating the wheel every time I'm doing this, really. Do. All hand drawn. Sometimes you just have to be curious. Do I really enjoy torturing myself? No, it's a fun process. This is it really comes down to is like if you do want to do animation, you have to love the process, because it's not, because there's watching it, amazing, awesome. I love watching. It's like thinking about like the movement and aspect of like, wow, they really got that squash stretch there. The basics of, you know, animation. And as you watch other work, you get this huge sense of what you can achieve, of what you aim for. Why do I feel like I've messed up a little bit recreating this? It has a lot to do with the fact that I'm redrawing the same image. Again, if I didn't want to go for the this has that jitteriness that because every frame is drawn, which this definitely has that feel of being again, I'm looking for transition, so I might even need to move this down further as I'm looking at that. And enlarge it even. Because we're getting, not only are we moving closer, but we're also enlarging. Because we have we have a dynamic movement going on. We're rotating and we're enlarging certain aspects. So because we're getting closer to them. So constantly keeping that information in mind. As it gets recreated. So I'm really looking at like, gosh, how much How different is that? Into that. Let's do a quick little save just because. Can't hurt. Elbow there, elbows here. Elbow needs to be there. Which is definitely off from what that should be. There. Quick little drawing of that hand. So really this is more of like we're enlarging the space that we have. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, a little bit too big, too quick. Oh, I am actually shrinking that up quite a ways because I'm smashing myself. That's why. That's why it's like that's just not feeling like I'm getting in between. Because I was visually cutting myself off of what I could see. There we are. There, that feels so much better. We got this going on. Actually, I need to lift. I need to pick up them pants a bit, just a bit higher. Nope. Again. Comes around. There's the lines you need. I would say, you know, happy accidents. They're all we work with them. We're gonna do like, but animations like we're trying to be more visually translating. So accidents are not necessarily the best, but we can make little flubs. Just cause you know it's we're aiming for accuracy, because if I draw it too differently, you won't see the transition and something jarring will happen. And really I want to avoid as much jarring moment from this to that, so it can be understood and not confused. And as you can see, it's like I even know that I'm gonna go through my major keyframes and have to adjust, because as I'm drawing in a little bit more detail here, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more accurate on the shapes. A little too far. Must taper it back a bit, just for our own sake. Again, I'm taking the artwork of someone else and translating it for this piece to for animation. And if you're curious, by all means, always ask a question. If you're wondering what I'm doing, where I'm at in the current animation of this, which is, it's still kind of more of a previs and fleshing out more and more, because I have a lot of hand-drawn frames, and I'm going to redraw some of the other frames, so it's a matter of just starting to get some of those tweenings, so get more of my heavy transitions, and then have slight variations as I draw another one and another one and another one. So green is where I'm going, right? Yeah. Green is where I was going. So yes, I'm in the right direction. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Turn off the onion effect. Again, I'm missing some features, but that's where we're gonna. Goodness, something's slowing up my processing. That's not good. Well, it doesn't look like... Oh, my internet just like leapt downward for a second. There's your problem. Yuck. That's the problem. This whole side is a bit... Do. Again, this is part of the process of animation, and it's just... Oops, don't need you. Don't need that. It's just pre-visualizing, having an idea of where you want to be, and then working out the best methods of getting there. Most career paths are just actually problem solvers. It's really in the end, that's what you end up doing, is you problem solve, like, oh crud, I hit a wall with this. I need to get the job done, but not always the answer so obvious. So we gotta figure it out. Part of what I get to do with this is figure it out. Now I do want to put on the onion because I do need to position this necklace. There we are. Gosh, maybe what I should also bring up is an example of the kind of style which this should look at the end. Gosh, I want to sneeze. Oh yeah, my computer was jumping around. I did have some frame losses. I was wondering. Yep, I did have that fall. What is it? Okay. It's actually... That's why. It's like, I'm wondering, like, something's missing. That's why it caught out. That's why it was all weird. Sorry, I'm. There. All right. Back to it.
Let's do this.
I think I am getting to a point where I might need to just take a break because I have been sitting at this computer for a while, and I can feel myself kind of like I want to run around. I want to go free, run around, prance like a dog in the backyard, chasing after a squirrel. It's quite the visual. Plus, I probably do need to just walk around, get some blood flow. You know what? Instead of talking about it, I'm going to take a break. So I will be right back. I'm going to get up, walk around. So I'll be right back. I will leave a little... I'm going to leave the music playing here. But I shall be right back. Just a small little break. Can I actually bring Snaz up? Let's see if I can set a timer. It's about noon. I'll take about 5-10 minutes, walk around, get some juices going, and then crank out this last 50 minutes and see where we're at. Change that date. I go from and make sure that's oh no PM. That's right. Let's start it. There we go, perfect. So I shall be back shortly. I'll catch you critters in a moment. Hey, I've returned. That's not what I wanted. That's the transition I wanted. There we go. So that's where we are still. I don't know. I took a moment. Stand up, walked around. Got some fresh coffee. I definitely need to cut myself off after this point because it's getting to the afternoon. It's no longer Saturday morning. It's Saturday morning somewhere. We'll go with that. That's how we're gonna achieve this. It's Saturday morning somewhere. Okay. What am I trying to do? Where am I at? Get back into gear. Let's finish up this frame. I want to get at least one more frame done before I wrap things up for today. And shake my whole desk. Might as well just get up on top of it and start dancing if I'm going to shake this thing. Break it all, just break it. Wait, where'd you go? Onion, no. Oh, wow. Okay, that's not what I wanted. But, that works. That works for me. Because it fits in the tools somewhat. So again, and we'll just take a quick look at what we got. You can see that it just by putting those few frames, it did smooth it out a little bit. I might not draw as many frames as I think to get what I want. You done yet? You done yet? There's a little burp I needed. And I do need the frames in here because that's a little too much of a jump. And then this is definitely a frame I need to redo. Actually, now I'm starting to think about it. I was like, darn it. I should have made a new layer and started drawing these tweens because one, I might redo the major frames anyway. Oh well. It's what we've done. We'll make these part of the major frames and then we'll make a new layer for the tweening. Tweening is just short for the in-between frames of major frames, or thus tweens. Hey there, Phoenix. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, I believe, at this stage, isn't it? It's past. It is. Yes, it is 12:13. All right. So where was I? I was on. Was it this frame? Yes, it was this frame. Just took a break. Came back. Phoenix, that luscious, beautiful mullet of hair you have is intoxicating. So I can't get enough of you. I watch you every night when I go to bed. Put it right there up beside me and just curl in close. Yeah, see? I took that inspiration from you. Of course, I had to draw it without hair because I couldn't make it overly obvious that it was about you. Hey, I'm just getting a little more closer. That's crazy. I don't know which part of that's crazy. You watch me too? Oh. Gosh, I get tingles now. I got a lot of tingles from that one. It makes me feel good inside. Alright, did I finish this frame? I think I finished this frame. Did I? This needs to be a little bit more. There we are. Oh, I see. Well, then I'll definitely have to catch you a bit later. Are you streaming today yourself? I know much later in the evening. Because like I said, that's when I curl up in bed. You know, the day has gone by pretty good. Oh, you're not streaming today? Okay. 'Cause today is... Yes, Friday. No, Saturday. Just look at the title of your stream. It says Saturday. There we go. Okay. But my day has gone pretty good. I'm getting quite a bit done with this animation. I've gone from the animatic to doing the getting the some of the tweening in, which is then going to turn into me cleaning up the major frames as I get more into this. Yeah, one of these days you'll stream. I mean, heck, this is my first stream in actually a couple of weeks. Because I've been really focusing on a lot of other work to the point where I was like, I just need to I need to get some of it done before I can come here. And then here I am still working on other things. I go, you know, I just need to stream it. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm doing. Overly critical about my own work, and I'm still sitting here sketching the same one. I want to do another frame. Just got that one. I need a frame right here. And then we want to turn back on the onioning. Alright, so this is a pretty big transitional aspect I'm heading into. But yeah. Is it I you know, just for my own sake, I really like how that hand looks. For some odd reason, I like the angle of this hand a lot. And same with this one. It's real nice. I'm not often like I'm satisfied with the hands I draw, but I'm satisfied. I'm pretty satisfied with how this one turned out. It looks very hand-like. It's handy. All right, so like I said, this is a pretty big visual tween because I get faster as I move into it. So maybe even just for my own sake, this is actually going to be a little bit closer because I feel like I'm going to overdraw it. If I go in between these two moments, the actual middle point is closer to the other side. So if I'm trying to draw the middle of this new transition, so we don't have it flat on, we got a have more. Nope, curve the nose. There we are. And this does fall away. So now we're getting into more definition of what this face looks like. And again, I'll be cleaning up quite a bit as I move along and keep rendering this. I'll get this beard in here. Chick. I'm glad that I moved that camera off of this desk. So otherwise this thing would be shaking like crazy as I'm doing this. There we go. That helps. It's ear. That needs to be shifted over. Because they're still moving into this portion of it. We're getting there. We're getting there. This is the last frame I want to draw before closing up shop and calling it a day for at least for the stream here. So again. And you know, I'm happy with myself because I normally go 2 hours, but here I am doing 3. I definitely want to stream for longer periods of time, especially because if I'm doing work like this is going to take some time, so why not? So why not see a grown man cry when he makes a mistake after an hour and a half of work, right? Right? It's good content. It's like, no, I drew all of it wrong. It's off perspective. Which does happen. You know, we all make mistakes. We can't help it. Sometimes you go down a path and you go, "Oh my gosh. I did not expect did not expect to run into the bear here." That's not. I feel like I am making more of like Jafar at this stage right now. For some odd reason, he has more of a Jafar feel, and that's not good. No. Get more round. That pulls away from it. We're gonna... It's really this eye that's bugging me. This one, I know it's behind the bridge of the nose, which... There we go. That feels a lot better. What I do... want to make this one down and a bit bigger. And not that big. Big-ish. There. That feels a lot nicer. A lot better. So back to the brush. Oh, they have an event. I've been sitting here the whole time and it's like, oh my gosh, there's an event. Ghost and Ground to get pumpkins. Get that away, get this. Again, we have this arm is a lot closer. So we have a bit more roundedness digging through. Hi, Lizzie. Good morning. Good afternoon. I have to get used to it. It's past noon now. Good afternoon. Welcome. I hope your evening of last night was full of fun and adventure with Jack in the Box play and such. Gotta go put it down further. And then these arms actually have this going over more so. Yeah, I do love playing Jack in the Box quite a bit. It's especially because you get so much random games going on. So it's always nice and to change it up real quick. Plus, it's fun to play with friends. Really, it is. It's not. It's quite lonesome when you play solo. Solo player. A lot, and so. Let's see. Can I? I think I'm getting this. So green is where I'm trying to go. Purple is the previous frame. It's funny as I say that because I've been playing a lot of World, or oh my gosh, I want to say World's Ends. Like that's not what it said. What it is. I can't even think of the name. It's so horrible. New World. My gosh, there we go. There it is. Playing a lot of that, but I've been playing a lot of it solo. It's been my reward for getting certain aspects done, so I'm not what is it? Not completely drawing and being visual, and I just get to. It's like if I had a lot more Legos, I'd probably draw. I'd probably draw and then go sit down and build Legos as a solo project, just to do something else. Nope. It's getting a little too far. We gotta go. Wrap it around, get that arm. Because this arm is relatively large in many ways because of how close we are getting to the rest of the body now. And all of this is going to feel hand drawn. So a lot of these sketches I'm doing now for the tweening, it's going to be exactly what it's going to be for the end. Actually, I kind of realize now I need this hand to be off screen. So which it kind of is right now. This is part of my shift and transition. Let's draw it. I can rearrange the frames and positionings and like. I can agree. Math wasn't the greatest, but I have to say I really did enjoy math to an extent. But I feel your agony because when I was taking calculus, I was like, yeah, this is kind of tough. And then when I went linear algebra, I was like, I got a tutor and everything for that particular class. That was my like math. That was when I was like, do I really? How much do I really love math? How much? How much can a person put themselves through? No, can't curve that down. It's because these fingers gotta go. You have no love for math? That is understandable. Many people, it's their bane. It's the least of their least of the things they want to worry about or think of. So I feel you. Like I can relate when, you know, again, linear algebra was my thing that just, I love the concept. It was just like, this is too much for one brain right now. And you know, and maybe it was just because of the other workload. So do you have other classes though that at least you're looking forward to doing? 'Cause that's always nice to I get the really cruddy class and then pepper with something you really want, so you can always run away to that. There we go. Computers? Well, I always thought computers were more interesting than algebra anyways. So I can agree with you. It's something more to look forward to. There we are with that hand. We all need to decompress. Animal Crossing, I think, is a great one. There's a reason why I don't play it, because I know I'd probably become like, ooh, I gotta decorate this, gotta decorate that, gotta go mine this, gotta find this. And then all the dad jokes. All them dad jokes are so wonderful. Kayla used to send me them, and it's like, every time this happens, all I do is think of your dumb jokes that you say. It's like, yes, that's how it should be. Love dad jokes. Say way more than I should, but you know, I love dad jokes. Look at the fast pace, and I'm trying to keep up with it too. With the, my gosh, what's wrong with me? There we go. And then it crossed. There we are. Dad jokes are just amazing. They're wholesome. They make people's eyes roll. I mean, that's just that's life. That's how it should be. Just a constant eye roll. Nope. Need to chisel that out a bit more. There we go. Looks better. Send that back to the head. Lower part of the jaw. Right, and he does have a necklace, which I don't have in either one of those shots. Psh. Fairly simple visually, but still. There we go. Getting in all these features. Look, we're getting our nice little turntable. And oh my gosh, I made him incredibly thin. Scary thin. All right, well then we're gonna change that. that is not appropriate. Need that part, but we need this. Go here and here and here, y'all. We're just gonna widen. There, that feels so much better than the scary thin I made him. That also feels more visually how it should be, because this side this side should be a lot wider. And I did feel like I may have underdone it, and I'd underdone it. Underdone. Words. There we go. Get some. And again, this is all hand drawn because that's the style of which I am rendering this for. So we're just gonna be this like sketchy look throughout the whole animation, really. So it all works. Just really. And this is again me taking again and going into getting that overdrawn kind of sketch. I'm looking for the line feel to this. I don't know. I really like how I'm drawing these hands at this perspective here. So again, this is quite a dynamic movement that I'm trying to achieve here, going from this to this to this. But here's the one thing I need to do. This needs this motion. Actually, yeah, it's because that's one part I'm missing. I believe the whole point is I'm gonna shift a little bit to that side. I'm gonna zoom out because we're gonna enlarge. Because by the point we get to here, I'd even want to say like this particular frame just needs to be a bit taller. Like even on this one, it's like I'm boom, this to this. I may have made that right arm a little oversized because I do need feel the hand. Come on, give me that tool. The hand needs to be much larger because again, this is the closest object. Maybe that's really what I was feeling I was off with. If the forearm's that big, we definitely are. The hand is getting a lot bigger. Well, actually, even no. Again, before you start, okay, done. Deselect, reselect. So, because I want to make sure I get just the hand. Then we're gonna go back into it and we're gonna do a warp. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrink the palm a little bit, but gonna elongate. So I'm creating a new cone. To warp and make sure that the fingertips come out a bit more. To get the visual effect that I want. While keeping the palm, which is still furthest, a little bit more narrow. There we go. So I've just visually altered what I was drawing a little bit further, because now this feels closer to what's coming on. It's just this whole overtaking. So this frame that's going to be in between is going to have the pinky from the bottom to the top and the thumb all the way to the top, whereas then this start transition, and then back behind this hand here it starts to be the landscape swipe, the whole wipe aspect, the major turning point, the apex of this whole transition is to wipe from this visual to this visual. So this is where a lot of what I'm hoping to see happen. So I was able to finish another frame. Let's see how it's coming together. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, it's going pretty fast. Again, this is 15 frames per second, so maybe even just for my own sake too. See if it. See, it's coming together. I drew 3 frames this last, moment, so this is working out pretty good. So many more frames because I at least have to draw what I'm considering to be 60 of them, and I've only drawn 3 minus the majors, so I'm about like 50, about just a little over 50 frames left to draw. So there's a lot of the tweening because I need to also tune this timing quite a bit. And there's definitely some of my major frames have to be changed and redrawn to where they're visually more what I want to represent the moments and the movements. So we're working it out. We're getting there. And not only that, but again, cleanups so some of this can actually be more cohesive from one transition to the other. It's for one frame. So I'm not drawing what it feels like I'm, because right now visually the head keeps shaping change. Its shape change is not consistent. So I do need to start working out that. And that'll be part of the cleanup as I do these, do more frames, do more, get more of the timing in. But again, this is that Doppler effect where the camera's keeping focus on our main character here, and it is moving in a linear path, which is showing this rotation. But it's moving in a linear path until it gets to about straight on. Then it does this. Then there's this pan and pull out is the visual effect that I'm going for, because as you can see, like it the speed on the tail end is going to be a little bit different, because the camera's no longer just kind of doing this, I'm looking at you and then panning in, but now I'm moving away from you much further than I had started. So it's just boom boom outward. And just again, oh wait, hold on. There. And maybe get the tilt, take the tilt off of this. Here, instead of showing it like it's... Nope. Here we go. Some more full frames, so we're watching. And we're getting the, like I said, we're getting the timing, so we're going to go in from playing background to the hand swipe, bringing in the landscape, and then pulling back out to where then we go to the live action again. Is it really only showing? It's only showing 60 frames, and I extended this. That's why. Send it to up to 80. That's why I'm not seeing the other visuals. Like, this is cutting off pretty. Because again, we're going into that, to this, to boom, to that, to this. Yep. That to this, that to this, that. Alright, so I did get the other frame I wanted. Could I draw another? Could I get another one done before I feel like my time to wrap up? Yeah, we're just gonna place you right smack in the dab between all these. So it's going from this to this. See, like the head is definitely changed too much. I think I have too much of a dimple right there, or too much of an incave. Yeah, it's practically, it's one of the things that a lot of animators want to portray is being able to do a rotation around a character. Is if you can draw a rotation, it's really, really nice to show off. I'm adding another dynamic by actually having the camera move in and do this Doppler effect instead of just doing the camera's consistently at this, at this distance and just rotating around the object. I decided to put an extra level of complication to this whole visual, and it'll take quite a bit of refinement over time as I keep working it out. And again, I did this I'm doing this hand drawn frame, so it's quite a bit of work, and I think that's what I'm up for the task. I'll be continually working on this. This is probably what I'm going to end up working for the next couple of weeks, really. Is just getting these frames done, working on it, I'm planning on working on it a little bit tomorrow. I tried to work less on the weekend so I can go and be more relaxed. And then during the week I put in my extra hours. So I guess with that I am gonna start wrapping up, because I got to where I wanted, where I said I wanted to be. And I did it well within the 3 hours. Even with a small little break in there, especially because you got to get away from these computers sometimes. You can't expect to stick it out the whole dang time. And again, a lot of this it can be seen as storyboard too. It's like, this is what you do for storyboard, but the difference is that you wouldn't have it structured like this. This is closer to what an animatic wants to do. So, but whatever helps you get the idea down and get it working is by far the best tool then for you. The worst thing is to be wondering what I need to do, what do I need to use. And if you guys are ever stuck on something, you can always ask a question of me. I can always help you figure out something. I did put down below in the Twitch the actual Discord connection. I've been working on it. I'm starting to open it up. Gotta get away from computers? Of course not. Why would you? Let's just plow through 8 hours of work. Who needs a spine anyways? The chair is here with a lumbar support. I don't need those back muscles. But I love how this is shaping up. Because I'm starting to see a lot more of the sequences and everything I want. I definitely know I have a lot more cleanup to go. Oh, so much. But as I work through this, that's what we get to. We get to the point where we're refining parts. We're redrawing certain aspects to make sure it's cohesive. And again, my major frames aren't the final frames. So, as I tween and I tweak and I get this hand drawn done, it's going to come together. And it's nice to have these small little goals. Like I said, I set out to draw at least 3 frames today. I did. I feel well achieved. I feel good about that. I set my goal and I achieved it. And I achieved it within the time limit I was told myself, which is excellent. So that's what I encourage you all to do if you stick to your guns. Now I can either go play games or go take a nap. Sadly, with how much coffee I have, I could still take a nap. And thank you, Lizzie. You and Phoenix are always a great at inspiring me to continue on working. And you're so energetic. It's amazing. So I appreciate this. I appreciate you coming on by. It is. It's always nice. And like I said, I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. So I might as well hold on to this good mood and have a nice, lovely afternoon, which I graciously hope you enjoy your evening. And if you're in Michigan, hopefully it gets a little bit sunnier, because it was pretty grim this morning with the fogginess and threat of rain, which is what it seems like is going to be all week long for us. As a ginger, I'm perfectly fine with this. But what is it? Transition down. So bringing it on down, reining it in. Again, it was quite a long time since I last streamed, which I honestly, it feels good to just get on and talk about my work, because one, it helps me sort my own thoughts, and hopefully that helps you then see and find some inspiration in my mad mind that, this critical artist's, own look at his own work. So I'm hoping that, that helps motivate you to do your own. And again, I would love to see some of this stuff if you ever have a chance. Like the Discord is open. Post stuff. I'm trying to figure out exactly where things will get posted. I'm still working on that. But the idea is that if you have something you want a second opinion on, or another opinion on, by all means, send it my way. I'll give you what I can and let you know. And with that, thank you for joining me on this beautiful Saturday morning. I hope you all have a great evening. So this is the BoogieMan, dancing on out of here. I'll catch you critters later. Bye.